No! No! I wanted to retake the thumbnail. I wanted to redo the thumbnail and I accidentally hit go live. Woo! Let's go! 1 second, I'm sorry. Anyway, I apologize. Yeah, I meant to retake the thumbnail, but it's fine. I guess I could end this and then redo it. No, it's fine. That's too much. So today's the least rational day of the year, aka the most irrational, aka Pi Day. So happy Pi Day for all of those who celebrate. I'm a bigger fan of the number than the dessert, although I guess I don't really feel too much of a certain type of way about the number, although Pi Day means by heart uploads a video, so I am a fan of that. And it was after work today. My mom was like, "Oh, it's such a beautiful day outside today. Like, we should go for a walk." I said, "Let's do it." So we went to the cemetery and we parked in a spot that we always park. And like when I go, I'll park in that spot because every time we go to the cemetery, we park in the same spot. But today, I was a passenger. And the last few times I've been the driver. So I got out on the passenger side, and for some reason, I looked down at one of the tombstones and it has a circle with a cross in it. And the person's name was Merlin. I was like, what? All this time I've been on here, I ain't never seen Merlin. And then today I was listening to some videos. Today I was listening to some videos and on the YouTubes on my TV and like playing an app game, right? And I decided to play Fire Emblem Fire Emblem Heroes. I ain't played it in a minute. I was getting my free summons and then I got Merlinus. I was like, what? Merlinus. And in Merlinus's entry, it mentioned that he was the seneschal of some house. So I don't play Fire Emblem. I just play the app game sometimes. But it mentioned that he was the seneschal. So I got out the Dreams of Gaia Tarot because there's a seneschal in the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And I opened up the book because I was like, I don't know how I feel about this book. I don't remember if I liked it. And I opened up to this dreamer spread. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the dreamer spread. And then I was like, is this going to be a self-read? And I was like, sure. Why not? Because I love doing self-reads. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. That's where I'm at right now, at least. Now, excuse me. I still don't. Hey, Holly, how you doing? I'm still like, this deck is a lot. But we will be fine. We'll be fine. Ooh, King of Water, Body, Mind. Oh, look, they look similar ish. Is this going to be a self read? I mean, I said it would be. I'll try. This will be an attempt. I'm going to give this a few shuffles. Ooh, that feels right there. Not even going to cut it. And I'm just going to pull off the top in these positions. So I wanted to use the Threads of Fate Oracle cards because I think they have a Dreamer card, or the Dreamer sounds very like Threads of Fate, but we'll see. So it says the purpose of the dreamer spread is to delve into the mind and shine a light upon the dreams and hopes of you, the dreamer. So in the first position representing the dreamer is the sage. Okay. In the second position, the unconscious mind is, I gotta find it. Okay, there it is. The Eight of Water. Somebody said this card looks like a weirdo. I think it was Reem. Or maybe it wasn't. I was just talking about dolphins earlier today. Because somebody was like, when we get older, we shrink, but our ears and noses keep growing, so we end up looking like elephants. And then somebody was like, ancient elephants, like ancient aliens, but ancient elephants. I was like, who knows? And then I think he said like dolphins are definitely aliens or something like that. I was like, who knows? Like elephants could be aliens. He's like, dolphins are definitely aliens. And then that's why it's interesting that the dolphins are here, I guess, because it's not every day I hear somebody talk about dolphins. Anyway, the past is the counselor. I'm already regretting this. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? The immediate future is the Two of Air. The conscious mind. Whoa, what happened to 5? Oh, okay, there we go. Next, the long-term future is the Ten of Fire. And it's got the same sort of like left-right motif, similar. It's almost reminded me of one of the spreads in the Magical Dimensions Oracle Cards and Activators. I almost pulled them. Next is the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is coming up with the Seneschal, so that's interesting. The conscious mind is that Merlin-ish Seneschal Merlin. That's the reason why I went for this deck. Repression is the Nine of Fire. I am already regretting this. How do you read this deck? The guide is love. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute, darling. Love is the guide. Okay. And then the expression is desire. The guide is love. The expression is desire. So that's all the cards. So the dreamer, the sage. This card represents you, the dreamer, and is a reflection of what resides in your present vibration. One second. Try to get some space. I feel like I really need clarifiers for this. Napoleon Dynamite. That somebody, was it Corey on his community page today that shared Napoleon Dynamite? Or was that yesterday? Yeah, it was Corey 21 hours ago. Okay. I was like, I know I've seen Napoleon Dynamite pop up somewhere around here. Hey, Cindy. Emily. How you doing, Emily? That does not look like Cindy at all. There we go. I can see better without my glasses. This card represents you, the dreamer, and is a reflection of what resides in your present vibration. And it's the Sage. This Sage card reminds me, it makes me think of the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles in the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. But it's the Eight of Pentacles after she masters what she's working on and she gains access to the living wand, the living staff, and is permitted entry into the mystical forest behind her. You'll take that? Okay. I'm glad. It also makes me think of on the island of Roke, the forest there. The patterner, the master patterner. I think the master patterner lived in the forest. And that's interesting because yesterday somebody was, it was like the day before, a few days ago, somebody I saw Le Guin. And then yesterday I was on Twitter and the same person was talking about sci-fi. Who was it, sci-fi or fantasy? Maybe it was more fantasy writers. Yeah, because Rick Riordan was mentioned too. And he mentioned Ursula K. Le Guin. And I was like, what? Besides Russell, like, I'd never heard of her, which is not surprising because I don't read a lot. So, okay. Maybe I'll just, well, let's see. Number 7, the Sage. I regret this so much. Oh, gosh. That's what I get for putting something in my mouth that don't belong in it. Woo. And there goes the rest of my water. Vote for Pedro t-shirt. Oh my god. Excuse me. Hey Janelle, how you doing? So the unconscious mind, what dwells within your unconscious mind, is it harmony with your present vibration? So the unconscious mind is coming out with the 8 of air. No, this is the 8 of water. I would say that there isn't an immediately obvious water element in the present vibration of the Sage. Like the energies feel like they would mesh well together, but this, because of the staff, it feels more fire, earth based. This feels more water, and I guess air because I mistook it for air based, but it feels like the Sage is a lot more grounded than this 8 of water is. Or at least in this reality. Why am I doing this? It's not too late to quit. This 8 of water, it reads as like so multidimensional because of all of these different sort of planes. It's also funny because he was talking about dolphins, and I was like, dolphins are jerks. So my unconscious mind is a jerk. Okay, I'll take it. It can be. But the moon is also what's in the palms. What's interesting though is this card does kind of show more chakras than are usually depicted. The third eye in the sky could be Soul Star. I know there's chakra centers on the palms of the hands, but we don't see that. Was it the Earth Star, the one below the root? Because again, this doesn't feel as grounded. But it is the unconscious mind. So for the unconscious mind, like this energy makes sense. They are also playful. Sometimes they can play a little rough though. Will I read the Eight of Water? I was gonna read these as how I read the dice. So this would be the Eight of Essences. And the eight is that's interesting. Oh, that's a seven into an eight. Seven, eight. Um, but eights are apprenticeship energies. So it's like at the six, there's a sort of harmony, and it feels like we've made it. At the seven, we realize that there's even more to that element than we thought there was. At the eight, that's in this where we're like learning it and mastering it. At the nine, we like finish our apprenticeship where we're out sort of practicing on our own, putting that learning into action in more of a, I don't want to say unsupervised um, way. And then at the 10, that's when, basically you mastered it. So with it being the eight of essences, and I guess that would make sense. Um, because essences, the suit of essences is all about learning to use one's different qualities and strengths and weaknesses and finding a balance in them. And it's a balance that is for individual situations. It's not one size fits all. And so, because of that, it almost sits at as a suit of self discovery, kind of like fire, but different. Because fire just sort of like is what it is. Water is how we put the fire into action or how that fire interacts with those around us, right? And so the unconscious mind, while at the eight of essences, it is about, um, I feel like that would speak to everything that I'm learning in regards to like being more fun and social and extroverted, while at the same time, like learning to be to take less ish, learning to like speak up and learning to not be compassionate and not be overly understanding to the point where I allow myself to just get treated any kind of way, right? But to still in that not grow or wax spiteful. And so too, it might be a little bit about, yeah, it's the space where these things sort of come and meet. We'll see where this goes. I'm oof. The past, your past has shaped you. What from your past is influencing your choices in the present? From the past, I got the counselor. And again, it's more of that watery energy. But the past is bringing that like triple moon goddess energy, while this is all like full moon. And I kind of do sort of like that again with the suit of essences being about self discovery, and with the eight of essences being the point where it's like, again, we're learning, I'm learning to put different mixtures of qualities together to suit certain situations, to suit like communications with like deep close personal friends versus like acquaintances versus parents versus siblings, whoever. I'm a Pisces. I'm mutable, okay? And I like this because going to that one particular situation when it comes to like not being a doormat, but also at the same time not growing spiteful. I think one of the things that, like, the reason why I'm overly, oh, what I said the right word I wanted before. It's not overly compassionate, um, but it's because like I used to have like a very short fuse to no fuse. And so when I started giving people the benefit of the doubt and making excuses for people, that's when it made it easier for me to control my temper. And the sense of like not assuming the worst about people, or not assuming that people are intentionally trying to upset me or whatever. It's like, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they don't know. Maybe I didn't say anything and that's why, blah, 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 whatever. This is almost like Tree of Life. It's almost Kabbalah. Yeah, it does. It can. Which is why it's like, excuse me. I think it's also, I've found about like, it's almost like not caring too much, or just like understanding how a person is or how people are. Kind of almost like it's not personal, even though it's still annoying. I think the star is also here in between the whales, which is interesting. Is that a heart on the third eye? Oh, that's cute. Oof. What from your past is influencing your choices in the present? The immediate future. This is the energy of your environment that affects and influences your immediate future. Oof. Why? Why? I've never noticed the scales in this card before. But look, we got those like lined up energy centers again. It's because I feel like, again, this is exactly what I was talking about though. If these are the energies in the environment that are shaping, what did it say? The energy of your environment that affects and influences your immediate future. Again, I feel like it's definitely that like light and dark, like being the lighter, more fun, zesty, more outgoing, more connective version of me, while at the same time in the same environment needing to also be that sort of like more reserved me when it comes to people in that environment that just don't, I don't want to say that don't, it's just like that's not our dynamic. Because every time I've tried to be friendly and every time I've tried to be that other me, it's like it works against me. So it's just like it's someone who's proven that, at best we'll be neutral. We'll be professional. I can still be professional. I'm not going to be whatever. But it's really learning the balance. And I think it's also about, maybe it's also about, I think there's something in here that I haven't necessarily, yeah. And I think also at the same time, sometimes, Holly, people don't care. Well, maybe it's not that they don't care. They're just like more wrapped up in their own thing, which is why, again, I'm surprised that the upper majority of the people that I work with tend to not, or they seem like they're not that way, which has been extremely interesting for me. There's just like one person who lets her insecurity just run rampant, and the little bit of power that she has in her title and position just try to like act all kinds of not great. And so, they create, it's almost like they use their position to influence the environment to have the same kind of, oh, that is so obviously within them. And I've reached the point where it's just like, no, if that's how you want to be, like you can be that way. But I'm not gonna like no. And it's taken some time. Because at first I was like, oh well, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to get in trouble. But now I'm like, F it. Because it doesn't matter what I do at this point. You're gonna be mad and spiteful and insecure. And I'm literally over here just like not even doing anything. Trying to live my life. But I think there's something here about, I feel like there's a movement between both of these sides. And I don't know if I've necessarily, because it's hard to read, I don't know what that movement would be. And so I don't think I've necessarily hit that part of it yet. The long term future, this is the energy of your environment and self that affects and influences your long term future, your goals and dreams. So at first, it was just the energy of your environment. Now it's the energy of the environment and the self. And this is so interesting that so many cards come out with all these, right? It's the 10 of fire, which is again like all these chakras all lined up. But again, because of the energy of this 8 of water being the 8 of essences, being that energy of being the self that is needed in the environment, which is also why that it feels like that environmental energy is here. Twitty! Is that popcorn? I should pop some popcorn and watch a movie. I was gonna do that Saturday and then Sunday, and it didn't happen. And it's already 8:10, so it probably shouldn't happen tonight. But I do need to do that. What's also interesting is though, for some reason, it feels like this 10 of fire is the meeting space between the sage and this 8 of water. And then there's the hammer and chisel. There's the thing. It's almost like um, taking the bull by the horn, taking life in their own hands, something like that. You know what I mean? To whatever level and degree. Why does this? I feel like this is the. It reminds me of the goddess Aya with the and goddess Aya and god Adad. I think for some reason it feels kind of Irish-y, but different. Oof. It is a 10, and tens are ones, and one is about leadership. It's also interesting though because the counselor holds a star, but it feels like the 10 of fire like is one because of the radiance up here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hey, Muhammad, how are you doing? Did she? I guess she didn't. I haven't seen Mercury in Pisces yet, so I have to ask her. Or ask her. Oh, she couldn't upload. She lost her internet connection. No, I'm a millennial. I wouldn't survive without internet. I'm just playing. I would survive for a time. That's unfortunate, though. I wonder what video was supposed to go up. Oh, her internet just came back up? Yeah, and if her internet just came back up, I think she waits until. Oh, snap. Well, speak of the even, there she is. For 4 days? 4 days? Oh my gosh. Did you get like a partial refund or something? Did you get some money back? There she is. Eve, you were talking about you had a dream about the seals. And then I went with the coworker the next day and we went to a store to get some cupcakes and stuff because to celebrate our birthdays. And then her car wouldn't start. My coworker, we rode in her car, and so her mom picked us up and took us back to work because the jumper cables were stuck in the car with the dead battery, so the trunk wouldn't open because everything is electronic. Uh, but on the way back, her mom was talking about the Book of Revelations and the seven seals, and I'm like, oh my god. Get this Ragnarok energy out of here. I clear this Ragnarok from my field. I don't want it. And I was gonna like send you an email. I was like, Eve, you were just talking about the seals. Now someone's talking about when the seven seals break and the world goes to heck. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mm-mm. Ooh, Mercury and Leo is next. My Mercury is in Pisces and in the 12th house. So I can't even like watch for a different house. You know, like if my Mercury was in the third house, I could watch Gemini. Oof. It's fine. Excuse me. So what was next? Yeah, Book of Revelations, the seven seals. And I was like, oof, Eve just had a dream about seals. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want this kind of synchronicity. No. No, thank you. Next is the conscious mind. What dwells within your conscious mind and is driving thoughts, feelings, and overall perception? Is it in harmony with your overall energy and unconscious mind? Now that one is the seneschal. So the unconscious or the dreamer present vibration is the sage. The unconscious mind is the eight of cups. And the conscious mind is the seneschal. Seagulls. Oh, I haven't seen a seagull in a minute. It's interesting because again, the sage, I feel like the sage is in between these two then. Because I was like, these two energies are pretty similar, but this one is a lot less grounded. This one is all airy fairy, whatever. But look at the seneschal and all of this like earth tones, animal. So the conscious mind is very grounded. The unconscious mind is very not. And the present energy is sort of in the middle. So it's like cool. Yeah. I feel like this is a decent, whatever. Mercury's in Leo right now. Or your Mercury is in Leo. No, Mercury isn't in Leo because the sun is in Pisces. That's not how astrology works from the viewpoint of Earth. So your Mercury is in Leo at 0 degrees. A murder of seagulls? Oh, snap. Oh, you should have took a picture of the seagulls. I want to see some seagulls. I'll be going back to. I'll be in London early June, so I'll see seagulls there. Seagulls and pigeons. Those pigeons were wild. They're just like walking on the street, and I'm like, "Excuse me, sir or ma'am. I'm not trying to step on you." And then it was this. I was going to. I think it was Tate Modern, and there was just like this flock of birds flying, and we just had to like walk through them. And I was like, "This is crazy. This is wild." You dropped your phone. Oh, you tried to take a picture and dropped the phone. Oh no. So the conscious mind, what dwells within your conscious mind is driving thoughts, feelings, and overall perception. It's the seneschal, and the seneschal is a protector. There's lots of like third eyes here too. The only card that doesn't have a third eye, the only two, it's the sage and this two of air so far. Oh, look at the keys. Keys and acorns and pinnacles. See the acorns, the pinnacles, and then the keys, the rings of keys. I remember when I was looking through this deck for keys, for cards with keys, and I don't remember why. I know Remy had a video. Ooh. Well, I'm glad to hear your phone is fine, Twitty. Sorry you couldn't get the seagulls, but at least you don't have to pay to get your phone fixed or to get a new phone. That's why I stopped doing signs, even though I feel like I would call myself out in Capricorn more. Yeah, those pigeons are just used to, they're part of the population. What's interesting though is this little bit of the night sky there with the stars. A crystal clear night of charted stars? No, they're not charted. All of these have animals in it too. The present vibration, conscious mind and unconscious mind. Okay. What's next? I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I use these cards. Stop. So, repression, a potential blockage. This is an energy or influence that you are avoiding or is in need of strengthening in order to help make your dreams a reality. Whether the card falls upright or reversed, this card symbolizes something that needs addressing as it has too much or too little influence over you. I love how they say too little influence because it's like in the Nine of Fire, the dude has a rose, right? And it's like this card has it might have too little influence, and then the guide is literally love. So- but it's like, ew, you know what I mean? This one's only got two chakras. It feels more third eye and root. Well, I guess if everything else is like all the other cards are like lined up, right? So it could be that is that sacral or is that sacral or is it root? Or is that what is that? What's this? This is third eye. That's easy. That could be root or sacral or a combination of the two. What's interesting though is because the long term future, look at that. Look at the stars in both of those. They feel like the same setting. And this is the nine and the 10 of fire. This is the thing that I need to pay more attention to either way. Hey, Souza. The dog always confuses you in that card. I think it's because the seneschal is like it's like I think back in the day I looked it up and it was like it was an officer of the king, king's guardsman, I think. Because it was like Officer de Roy in the French, and I was like, what does that mean? And then Google Translate doesn't even whatever sometimes. Was that Hachiko? I guess on one hand, though, the steward or major domo of a medieval great house, a governor or other administrative or judicial officer, historically. French seneschal in medieval and early modern France, a steward or principal administrator in a royal or noble household. There you go. What does major domo mean in English? A head steward of a large household, such as a palace. Oh, a butler or steward. Oof. I'm a butler. I'm I'm the Jeffrey of Joffrey, I prefer. I think it is excuse me, it's also interesting because the dog can be an animal that symbolizes playfulness too. And it's like a puppy. Is that Bun Buns? No, it's not Bunny, but Bunny's birthday was yesterday, I think. With the dolphins and the puppy. I feel like, well, I am discovering my more playful side. It was definitely absent for a minute, you know. Jeeves. Is Ask Jeeves still a thing? I haven't tried it in years. Or Alfred, is that his name? It's too much or too little. It could be too much. Well, I feel like it wouldn't be too much if the guide is literally the card of love. But it's repression. So this is what's repressed. Oh, look, the heart is there too. The heart chakra is right there. You see it? Because of the shine right there. So it's the root, the heart, and the third eye. Who did? Who did? Who did? GG1. Oh, goodness. I should look at this place. I keep getting reminders about this. I should look them up. I had a moment where I diverged. Maybe I'll go back. I don't know. This is so difficult with this deck. But we'll see. Maybe it'll come all together. Guide, a potential guide or energy. This will strengthen you and work with any blockages. Repression is a potential blockage. The energy to work through the blockage is love. Oh my gosh. I was watching this new anime called The Saints Magic is Omnipotent or something like that. And it's about this girl who gets it's an isekai anime, so it's about a girl who gets transferred to another world where they have like magic and stuff. But two girls get transferred, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, if we summon two saints, we must really need them." But anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but it's related to these two cards. And it's funny because there's the golden glow coming out of the heart chakra. See, I guess it is blocked here. The chakra itself is blocked by the rose. Who said something about? Mm. It makes me think of the Seeker though, because the Seeker in the Spirit Keeper's Tarot has three roses, but only one of them has blossomed. Um, there are butterflies here. There are some whole little like braided, woven, whatever. There's a crescent moon. This is where I get lost. This is where I get lost. I'm like, what is this? This whole side, even over here. I feel like I wouldn't be paying too little attention to love though. Like knowing me, where I am in my life right now, like I feel like I'm so, and again, like I feel like it wouldn't be like I'm paying too much attention to love if the card that came out as guidance is love. Can I pay more attention to love? Unless this is that like, don't be a chili pepper, love and light. And maybe it is, because like low key. See, but I would say like low key, it feels like this as if like it completely, yeah, that had it right. No, it's this way. It's like if the white came like completely over this, then it would end up here. But I mean, just because that's the long term future though doesn't necessarily mean that that's where I'm supposed to go. Because this is like all dark. And so it's like if everything shifted dark, maybe I would end up here. But if everything shifted light, I would end up there. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know if I could do a chili pepper self read. Oof, hurt my own feelings. Unsubscribe to my own channel. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this guy. Like, can you unsubscribe to your own channel? Excuse me. It does kind of feel like it's how one thing begets another. Oh. I'm so confused. I'm so lost. We'll see. Expression. This is the key to unlocking a potential direction for your creative flow. The potential for unlocking a creative direction for flow and its desire. It's interesting though, because I feel like this leaves me. Well, that's the thing about essences, though. The suit of water is that it is so directly connected to the fire. And look at that little fire dragon. Oh, is that this? Is this? This? It's like this is when these two come together, it makes this person. When this child takes it in, but he's like, oof, that's a lot. I'd be like, oof, that's a lot. But honestly, I feel like that's kind of sort of that's what me discovering, that's what me using my voice has been, my journey so far. It's like if I feel like something doesn't have to be said, or if something's already being said, then why do I need to say it? There's a horse here. I've never noticed the stone relief of a horse right there. This is interesting. Does who want to unlock what, Eve? Because my answer might be no. What's also interesting is, though, what was this expression? There's this third eye in the dark. And this card, the eagle or the falcon, was that on the drum? I think the head of the falcon was on the drum because I had the drum and a different card. The bear was on the other one, I think. And this falcon was on the drum card. Easy enough to find out. I'm about to blow my nose. Yep. Oh, well, it was different. Similar ish, but different. They're kind of like looking at each other. But anyway, I digress. Oop, and that card just went on the floor. I don't know what any of these cards mean, y'all. I was overly ambitious. I admit it. I am in over my head. I just dropped this card. Oh, I found it. I thought I would have had to struggle a little more to find it. Oh, Capricorn. What? There's the goat. I mean, it could be Aries. There's the goat. with the horns. It's funny though, because I was like, whenever I do a self chili pepper, if I'm reading through the signs, usually it's in Capricorn. Whenever I read Capricorn, usually I'm like, ooh, is that me? I don't. I mean, I guess my midheaven is in Capricorn. Um. Oh snap! Take a picture, Holly. It'll last, or just be in the moment. Some people are like, oh, everyone's so busy taking pictures and recording life that they don't live it. I'm like, yeah, but you can live it and relive it. You know what I mean? I don't know. What is this? Why did I do this? Does this help though? Because here's repression, here's expression. Repression and expression. Oh. The only difference between the repressed, I feel like the main difference between the repressed and expressed is this. It's like they're occupying a similar space, but the repressed one, it's almost like it's too, ooh, it's too focused on like the 3D maybe, because it's like rooted, it's like growing up. And this one, it's completely in this space. When it's expressed, it's completely that. Oh, that's a self read. I just got read. Okay, let me live my life. Because maybe it can come in. It can be that like because every now and then, read as most times, I like to ground things like. But what does this mean for us, like living here, like on Earth? And a lot of times, I'll like in that I'll try to um not make it less than what it is, but sometimes I'll dedicate a fair amount of energy to trying to like make it more realistic rather than just like reading the energy as it is. You know what I mean? And that is and it's funny. It's funny cuz I think the last time I was live or the time before that I was consciously aware of what I was doing and the choice I was making. Because I was like, I'm not on my second channel, so I can't just like go there. I gotta like ground it more into reality. You know what I mean? I gotta find how the metaphor connects and not just leave it as this nebulous whatever. Um, but I think in that sometimes too, maybe I can focus a little more, maybe a little too much on how things have been to the point where it's not enough of like where they have the potential to go. And that's just like talking about the collective in general, right? Oh, we're getting blurry. Like whenever I'm like, oh, the collective is like this and people are like that and da 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 da. But at the same time, it's like that's not necessarily true anymore. And to continue to perpetuate that is the case. And I think that that happens every now and then. Every now and then, it'll be like I'll get something and I'll be like, I personally don't agree with this, but this is what the cards are saying. This is what I'm being like led to believe. So maybe it's good to be anchored, it's good to be grounded, but to also at the same time leave a little bit more room for love. You know what I mean? There was a self read in there too, because it's like it's fine. That's between me and me. Okay, wow. That took an hour. If you're interested in personal readings, go and hit up another reader who does personal readings because I'm not doing personal readings. Oof. Yeah, that kind of gives. What's at the bottom of the three of water? Remember the fish card yesterday? Now they're all three fish are swimming in the same direction. Interesting. That's at the bottom. Oh, look at this. I just watched, oh, what was it called? Star Seated Rhea Spirit and Soul's latest video. And there's this shell here. Where'd it go? That shell right there. And Rhea had a shell that reminds me of this one in her video. And I can't even tell you what she was talking about because my brain is all. Oof. uh, um, I wish I could pull one more card to see. Oh, snap. Because she was talking about North Node. And my North Node is in Sagittarius. 8, 9, and 10 of fire are the Sagittarius. It's first, second, and third decan of Sagittarius. So I got two Sagittarian cards here. And that's where my North Node is. Ooh. Can't who wait, what? I want another card. So yeah. My North Node means that I'm supposed to be a chili pepper. So, and my Chiron in Leo means that I'm supposed to be a loud chili pepper. I have not. Oh wait, yeah, I did, because at the end she was like, "What did she say?" She was like, "Is this what you want, Mom? You want to be stuck here? You want to be stuck in the bardo?" Um, yeah, I did watch it. I watched Shayna's Sagittarius Collective read. I don't know where I would pull it from. So I had to pull out the Angel Tarot to get to the Dreams of Gaia. And Rhea used the Angel Tarot. Oof. Oof. I mean, I'm already this deep in it. I might as well just completely end up like dude with the dolphins. Oops. Because I don't know. It was. It wasn't necessarily chili peppery, but I was like, oof. I just want like one card. Oh, there we go. Oh, snap. Is this a sync? So the card that came out is number 32, Vasaraya. It's the star, God the Just. Clemency and equilibrium protects against attacks in the courts. And the reason why I say it's a bit of a sync, protects against attacks in the courts, and it's the Seneschal energy here with that major domo sort of like energy, right? Who's at the bottom of the deck? Three of Swords, Rehael, the quickly forgiving God, number 39. Love and submission cures illness, influences paternal love, gives long life. That's a lot of love. That's a lot of love. 32. I know for sand moths, I think moths mean like spiritual or psychic development or something like excuse me, something like that. Vasaria. Vasaria, God the just. It's in the Dominion, Psalms 33 and 4. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his works are done in truth. Those born under Vasaria's influence will have good memories and speak eloquently, and will be amiable, spiritual, and modest. Vasaria can protect against those who would make attacks in court, rules over justice, and influences nobility, legal executives, magistrates, and attorneys. Soul guardian for those born from 10:20 a.m. to 10:40 a.m. Moral guardian for those born on 20 April, 1 July, 11 September, 22 November, or 2 Feb. Physical guardian for those born from the 22nd to the 26th of August. Interesting. Well, I think it depends on like the context too. Cause it's the saying like moths to a flame. I think when you generally say like moths to a flame, it's not it's not, I've never necessarily heard it said in like a good context. Um, and then I remember when Russ was in France, he did a pick a card, pick a street light. Was it pick a street light or was it pick a painting? Because Papillon de Nuit. Um, and there was like when they had candles or exposed lights, the moths would like fly into the candles and like die. Um, but with the enclosed lights, electric lights, they just like fly around the light. Um, and so, like a moth to a flame, I guess it can be when we're drawn to things that ultimately will lead to some kind of harm. It depends. So, almost like bugs and bug zappers, because it's like, when the bug gets zapped, it's not a great experience for the bug. And it might be, I don't know. Okay. That was this. Oh, snap. I wish I could take a picture. I'll take a picture. Oh, look, the three of water and the three of air at the bottoms of the decks. I'm going to take a picture. Speaking of, take a picture. Oof. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Did my camera just freeze? It did. I'm gonna make this the thumbnail. Talking about make the mashta. Oof, there's just enough shadow. Just enough. There's a little shadow on the side. So this is how the top row is. If you can see it. And so they're both sort of like holding, or there's a star ish, there and there. I don't know. All right. That was interesting. There are parts of this that I understand but don't understand. You know what I mean? Yeah. Food stores and fabrics, yeah, they could. But yeah, that's why, it's whatever context it appears in for the reader. And that's why I'm of the belief it's like, I think there are times when we can get something from a message, and there are times when the message is what the message is, but we all receive things in different ways, and what might mean a certain thing to me may not necessarily mean it the same to someone else. So, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Because I've had moments too where I'm like, but really, time for a final message. I wanted to do a number thing today almost, but that didn't happen. So, okay. Final. Ooh, that's a lot. I just want one card, please. I just want one card, please. I just want one card, please. One card, please. One card, please. One card, please. Oh, there we go. And it's face down. Ooh, love a bit of mystery. It's two cards. The Scribe and Union. Oh, look at this. Well, it's the 12 of air and number 13. And then it's like, are these two? What are these? Snakes with faces. Celtic cross. Oh, look, there's the wolf again. There's a little wolfie. This deck, man. Oof. Oh, flags. I was like, what is it? Oh, well, look at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is the two of air. The Scribe and Union. What? We got those chakras again. See? I feel like it's more of that allow the world to be rewritten. Because the scribe, it feels very much like the recorder. And it's like it's pretty bleak, right? But in the card of union, it's like that's where all the color is introduced. And it goes back to the White World Bridger lesson that I learned from the premier White World Bridger in my life, I guess. Russell at Rustling Around. Around the time of the Papillon de Nuit ish. It was in that phase of pick readings. Um, oh, look. Look, there are two fish. You see the two fish? Yeah, you see the two fish below the butterfly. Wait. This deck, man. I'm like, wait. Probably definitely not going to read like 9 cards next time, but that's fine. You live and you learn. And you live to repeat the same mistake. As if I didn't already know. What's interesting though is like the third eye is crying at the top of the card. You see the tears? And from the eyes and mouth of the scribe, some kind of runic, cosmic water flows. Okay. We'll be a whole new person come Virgo season, right? I think that Virgo full moon is in a few days, right? What's today, the 14th? So in 4 days. In 4 short days, the moon will be full. And then a few days after that, we'll be in Aries season. Okay, work. I guess I'll get a final one of these too. Oh, snap. I guess I'll be back in the States by Virgo season. I would have gone to everything permitting. Oh, I still need to get my ticket for Canada. I might have a job in Virgo season. I might be working a new job in Virgo season. Yeah, I've heard every 7 years, like every cell in our body will have been regenerated. Okay, I'll take you. You want to just flip out? The Knight of Swords, Harahel, the all-pervading god. Intellectual richness protects fertility of women, makes children respectful toward their parents. Bottom of the deck is Vehuvia, or Vehuaya, the Fool, the exalting god. Will and new beginnings, assists with difficult and great undertakings. Yes. I'll be visiting a buddy in the UK. I already have that flight booked for late May, early June. And then in August, I'll be in Toronto for a few days, visiting the same friend and his fiance. And hopefully, if I'm in Toronto, like I know I'm gonna see Remy, so you know what I mean. Like, but that'd be really cool. I actually had a dream that I was in Toronto, I think with Queen Cup, and I was like, oh, can I go see Remy? Like, or Ontario somewhere. I think I've actually had a dream with both of them in it before too, at like different parts of the dream. If I run into Queen Cup while I'm in, I mean, it's not like she has any idea who I am, but that would still be wild. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Queen Cup. Wait, Queen Cup and Remy. Wait, but yeah, it's it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. I do. I will. I'll have to. And now I can go live on my phone. So look forward to that, I guess. I want one more thing. Since I'm using decks that are completely overwhelming, I won't necessarily go the full Dolly Tarot, but I will grab a Starman. And I might read them from the book. I actually like the book for Starman Tarot. Because it's like, why not? You know what I mean? We're already here. What time is it? Hey Siri, what time is it? Or not. Siri, what time? Oh, it's like 8 o'clock. I think I took enough pictures last time. I was like, there was something. Oh, I didn't get like any tea when I was in London. I didn't get any tea when I was in London last time. I didn't get tea and crumpets. I didn't go to any gardens. I wanted to go to the Globe, I literally went to Tate Modern and the globe was like right there. I made it all the way back, and I was like, I didn't get any tea. I didn't go to any gardens. The globe is like right next to Tate Modern. Oh my gosh, I could have went to the globe. Okay. Not the card I wanted, but I'll take it, I guess. The Five of Cups with the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Hmm. No tea and biscuits. Nope. I did get a chocolate croissant from a place called Eat, and it was so good. I got two of them. I wanted to get a third one, but it didn't happen, and I was upset. Crumpets in Canada. I want to get poutine when I'm in Canada, for sure. Five of Cups. I am inconsolable. I am inconsolable. What? Oh, goodness. The Swiss American psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler Ross was a pioneer in research on near death experiences in the process of grief. She postulated the five stages of grief: denial, this can't be happening; anger, why me, it's not fair; bargaining, if only blank, 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 or dot, 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 I would; depression, why go on; and acceptance, it's going to be okay. Towards the end of her own life, she said the stages were not always a linear, predictable progression. This opened the door for us to understand grief as a process which unfolds across time. Ultimately, the process travels across different emotional topographies that must make the full journey in order to reach the land of acceptance and integration. And the Five of Cups, a distraught yet almost indistinguishable figure, crouches by the river, watching as a hand desperately reaches out from the gushing torrent as it's swept away. Five cups, five stages. I never put that together. Five cups, five stages of grief. Wait. Must be consumed in order to move on. Three cups hold red inflammation. One stands empty with feelings of emptiness and meaninglessness, and the last cup holds hope, a return to the heart. For this card to have impact, one does not have to be dealing with something catastrophic. It points to the fact that we all carry tremendous grief: ancestral grief, family grief, cultural grief, grief for our losses of innocence. We all live out the five stages of grief in numerous ways. A dream job we have worked so hard for falls through, a relationship breaks up, children leave home. No one passes through life untouched by grief and loss. Grief is a part of the natural cycle of life. We can stop fighting against it and allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt. Tarot offers us an opportunity to see ourselves through different eyes, to see what needs to be questioned, healed, and released. It offers us new vistas to move towards and explore. I'm almost done. I might as well finish. As with the Four of Cups, we have the capacity to create a new context or viewpoint through which we can explore our pains and discomforts. We can transform them into something wondrous. Byron Katie's system, the work, offers a way of questioning and releasing the painful stories we inhabit, stepping into the open freedom that is our true, radiant, untarnished self. The Five of Cups took me to my own deep grief, the loss of loved ones, the failures, the hard times I had put my family through with my relentless pursuit of creative dreams. The fast flowing river in the card has more than one meaning or possibility. Of course, we can be swept away by the river of tears, but we can also be cleansed by it too. We can put right what we can and let go of our grief. Let it be taken back into the great ocean of life. For me, this card does not point to the arrival of some form of grief, for it has already arrived, and we can carry it in ourselves. Instead, it presents a question and a powerful possibility. It asks you to look at the grief you hold on to. It invites you to complete with it. It invites you to complete with it and let it go, letting nature, take care of transmuting it back into vitas or vitas. or energy. Hope is not gone. Allow yourself to grieve fully and deeply and work through it. Okay. Whew. That's a mouthful. Let's see if I can find the person crouching by the river with the hand raised. I can't. I don't see nothing in this. All I see is colors. Okay, I see the cups. Interesting. But you have what? Smelling salts? And then the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is like literally the Five of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Is that like not literally spiritual bypassing? I'm kidding. But it feels like after the grief sort of clears up, this is like the clarity that I can find. And it's interesting that it mentioned like ancestral familial grief as well. And it feels like it's an energy of like grief that we can carry and not even necessarily know why we carry it. And I feel that on some levels. There are some things like when I was a babe myself, when I was a wee lad, a lot younger than I am now, but you know, I used to have nightmares about losing children. And like losing a child was a pain that I felt like viscerally. And I was like, I never want to have a kid because I don't want to lose it. And then there was a string of on talk shows. There were a lot of, I think specifically LGBTQ kids who were trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warner, warning. And I was like, and then the parents would come on and they would talk about how they went to the schools and they went to the bullies' parents and they did everything that they could do. And it wasn't enough for them to keep their child. And it was just like, oh, it was like, oh my gosh. And again, like, I personally would have no context, especially at that time in my life, to feel a pain like that so like deeply and viscerally. But it comes from somewhere. Oof. Maybe the Ace of Swords is like, would you like to know? Would you like to know where all of that pain and grief and trauma comes from that you can't explain within your own life? Would you like to take a trip back into the library of your Akash? No, thank you. I just like for it to be gone. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm kidding. Oh, snap. The title card. Well, okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. This was something. Excuse me. I would say I don't know what, but I do. I kind of wish I didn't. Kind of. Not really. No, I don't. I don't. This was interesting. It was challenging, but interesting. So I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And I guess if you watch this, I hope you got something out of it because it just felt like a sort of bizarre self read. Um, but you know, we're all connected. We have similar experiences, just as we have dissimilar experiences. And I'll catch you next time, I guess. I guess. I feel like I didn't do anything for the collective, though. You believed having children was a selfish act, so the Lord gifted you with twins, teaching you selfless love. Aw. I love that, Holly. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will end it. I'll have Siri flip a coin. If Siri says tails, I'll do something for the collective. I do not know that person. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Oh, that's the end of the video. Bye.